Hey guys, I thought I'd make a quick little video kind of describing more thoroughly what SMA and Spinraza are, and especially how Spinraza affects SMA. So, SMA is what you would call an autosomal recessive genetic disorder that I and thousands of others have. Essentially, what this means is that for someone to develop the mutation SMA, both of their parents would have to have the recessive non-dominant gene or allele to pass on to their child. With both parents giving their child a copy of their genome, there is then a 25% chance that their child will be born with SMA. Furthermore, in all humans we have two copies of a gene known as survival of motor neuron, or SMN. These genes are responsible for producing SMN proteins. These SMN proteins are extremely important in our bodies. They keep the motor neurons responsible for controlling our voluntary muscles alive and working. Unfortunately, in SMA patients, we only have one working copy of the SMN gene due to an RNA splicing error on chromosome 5 in the gene SMN1. More specifically, when SMA patients' DNA is copied via RNA, a section of our genetic code is skipped. Exon 7 is skipped, and therefore, SMN1 does not work. Our one copy that does work, SMN2, is merely meant to be a backup to the primary SMN gene, and thus only produces an insufficient amount of protein responsible for the motor neurons controlling our voluntary muscles. Now, due to the lack of protein, the motor neuron cells die, which in turn prohibits certain signals being sent to our muscles. Those muscle cells die, and our muscles atrophy over time due to lack of use. Now, you may be asking what the symptoms of SMA are. Well, the most noticeable are difficulty breathing. Other signs that indicate SMA may include the absence of a child reaching certain neurological motor milestones, such as sitting, standing, or taking their first steps. Additionally, there are 3 or 4 different types of SMA. The first of which most don't live to their second birthday is the most fatal. Type 1s are almost always ventilator dependent and require feedings through a gastrostomy tube in their stomachs. Their symptoms also show up the earliest. I have type 2, which is severe, but not to the extent of the first. Type 2s typically have a lifespan of about 30 years, give or take. And we also start to develop symptoms a few months after birth. Finally, type 3 or 4 leaves people with the largest window of life and mobility. In some cases, type 3s can even walk, and usually don't even develop symptoms until past toddlerhood. So, Spinraza is a recently FDA-approved drug that treats SMA intrathecally via a spinal tap injection. Spinraza, or nusinersen, is a short sequence of RNA that binds near exon 7. This prevents exon 7 from being skipped. Thus, exon 7 is now included in the edited RNA message, which helps produce a more sufficient level of motor neuron protein. Now, I realize this can be kind of a lot to decompress. So, an analogy I like to use when explaining this to people goes something like this. Imagine that SMA is a pool of water with a hole in it. Obviously, water levels begin to lower because of the hole and water leaking out. Spinraza is a metaphorical kind of plug that you can insert to stop the water levels from decreasing and thus stabilize them. So, there you go. That's kind of my biochemical breakdown of SMA and Spinraza. So, I hope you liked it, and if you have questions, please feel free to reach out, comment, message with anything you want to talk about regarding SMA, Spinraza, or just living with disability in general. I think I would really like to start posting more onto my channel, different topics regarding disability and living with SMA. So if you would like that too, let me know, because I'd love to kind of break more topics down for y'all. Thank you.